Hey, what's up,
Hey,
everybody? I just see Cody over there throwing the nuts in his mouth, and
Yeah,
he was getting
no
it
better way to
ready
start
for
the
the
Tuesday
show.
night.
Jeez, we're off to a great start.
got goldfish tonight.
Yeah, that was an aggressive nut chomping.
Impressive. Not even mad. Way to be, Brian.
I hope that was on the
Damn.
stream.
Some people saw that I got some almonds here. I'm in California. I got some almonds I'm going to try out, but I didn't want to eat any nuts on the show tonight because that's Cody's kind of thing. So I'll have to wait to try those, I think.
Anybody can have nuts. It's okay.
Yeah, it's Cody's thing. Olee was posting about nuts today. Then Brian posted about nuts. Everybody's putting nuts in their stories, you know.
I see Nate's
We're
going
gonna-
to try something new tonight, looks like.
I'm gonna try it.
Combo?
Mix
Oh,
them.
yeah, baby.
Oh, man.
Mix them. All right.
All right, let's
Bam,
see.
bam,
then.
bam,
Is
bam.
it supposed to be a 50-50 mix?
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
this?
We'll try it.
50-50.
Try 50-50.
We'll try it out. Get going. Let's go.
So, guys, we got a full crew tonight. This is probably
we
the
do.
first time we're all on.
In a while.
I don't even know. Yeah.
I still got.
So it's
my-
good to see
Christmas.
all of you
Oh.
guys. All
No,
at
I missed
once.
everyone last week.
No.
Yeah,
Guys look
we had
sexy.
two guys. Shout out to Cody and Zach for holding,
Yeah.
holding it down.
Down.
that
Skeleton crew.
Bam, 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 bam.
was cool. You guys held it down the week before.
But
That's
well,
true.
we're all here tonight because we're all wanting to talk about insects. But
Bug.
as Nate's already
Wait,
started over there.
Did you say incest? Because Cody's here for that.
That's why Cody's here.
Yeah. That's me, baby.
Cody, do you have a hot? Do you have a hot cousin, Cody?
I got lots of hot cousins.
I was gonna say you look like a guy who's got a couple hot cousins. If I'm being honest.
You look like
You look at a guy. You look like a guy that goes to a family reunion and going, "Oh shit, my hot cousin's gonna be here."
can't go in the
Oh
pool.
no!
Oh,
Oh no!
oh,
Oh
no.
no!
My best friend's got a real hot cousin, and he's always like, "Dude, she's smoking hot."
It depends on what number they are. Are they the first or second or, it doesn't matter.
All right, here it is, Cody. I'm gonna give her a try.
Well, let's grab a
yeah.
glass
Oh, it's full.
and keep off the
Oh,
grass. Let's see what Nate's got.
Oh yeah. What's the verdict? I was
Whoa,
chugging it.
whoa.
That's a goal.
It's aggressive. Everybody's aggressive.
Frothy burps.
Almost like, kind of like a shanty in a way. Not quite. Yeah, it's good.
Really?
It's good.
I guess you got to be a fan of Mountain Dew and Busch Light together, right?
Well, that's
true.
good. It's a good
Some people
combo.
don't like Dr. Pepper, so you wouldn't want to mix that with something.
Well, Brian, you love to try the new Dew flavors. Maybe you
Oh,
can give it
yeah.
a try. You know,
There you
see
go,
if,
Brian.
the
I
Bush
got
and Dew
some.
combo.
I don't have any with me on the road, but I've got the new mango Jim, and there's a
what?
pineapple one.
Mm.
And I tried the mango
Ooh.
one before I left, and it actually is really good. It tastes like mango, so I recommend anybody who likes mango go get the Mountain Dew.
Man,
I'll
they
be
come
honest, I
out with
had
all
no
sorts of
idea.
crazy flavors.
Yeah.
Man. I'll tell
I
you
had no
what.
idea they had all those.
They
Yeah.
come out with crazy stuff. Like I'm waiting for them to come out with like a I don't know, like a Slim Jim jalapeno chili dog Mountain Dew or something.
There you
weird,
go,
know?
chili dog Mountain Dew.
Tater
You
tot.
heard it here
Tater
first.
Spam.
tot Mountain Dew.
They need to do
Lunch in a
spam.
can.
Spam Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
They
there
can-
you go.
They can
My
team up with
butthole hurts
Sonic.
already.
Liquid aeration.
Bam and pineapple Mountain Dew for
Yeah, for our Hawaiian friends.
yeah, there you go. For our Hawaiian friends.
Especially
Spam and
Hawaiian.
pineapple Mountain Dew.
Not sure if Lon Sauce is in the chat, but if he is, he
Yeah.
needs to work on it. Get that out there.
Yeah, we'll
So,
have him weigh in.
Mhm.
Did you see? You guys saw his reel where he tried to grass
Yeah.
soda, he threw up the grass. That was genius.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
He's
That was a
awesome,
really
man.
good one. I enjoyed
Some funny
that.
stuff.
I missed it.
So something's been bugging us lately, guys. You know,
That's a solid transition.
I had nowhere to go with it though. I was like,
You've
all
been-
right, so what is bugging us?
I like it.
I don't know.
Have you
It's
been playing?
true, ladies and gentlemen.
He's
Bill
been-
is the father.
He's been
is a dad.
saving
Yeah.
that all day.
Got the jokes to back it up. Well done, sir. Well done.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was in South Carolina visiting my family last weekend over the 4th, and they have fire ants like crazy in every lawn all over the place. Like we didn't think to look for it, and they're small little ant mounds, but you're walking around in the grass and you stand in one spot, disturb them, they're going to start biting you, and you don't realize it until there's quite a few already on you. That was new to me. I had never seen that before, but my family's like, oh yeah, you got to watch out for them, so that was interesting. But I was surprised at like how many folks had it in their backyards, but don't like spray for it. Don't do anything to prevent it or get rid of it. Not even my parents. I was like, what do you guys, anyway, so we had a little talk about that, and they might look into something. But have you guys ever dealt with fire ants where you're at?
Cody's probably.
I know. Yeah, I know I do. Anytime we get a big rain, or if I water a little bit too much in a certain location, I guarantee the next day fire ants popping up in the lawn. I'm just like, what the freak? No, I throw down my stuff with them, and I have my little bio advanced little, looks like cocaine you're shaking out on their anthill.
Yeah.
And you kind of just spray water on it, and they just all die. They're
That's
all
good.
dead. It's pretty sweet.
Cocaine, you shit.
Oh man,
What do you do for
I
fire
gotta
ants?
take care of them.
Yeah, just give them
Fellas,
an
get a little tuckered out there after a while.
I got to get rid of them because the kids they go back there, and I don't want them to get bit. So
Yeah.
So, I mean, if
For
you
sure.
put that down, that just kills that one little ant mound. Do you do anything? Like, do you do any kind of blanket spray in your yard every season? Like, what do you do? Like, you just kind of take care of it when they pop up if you feel like it, but you don't actually do any kind of preventative or anything, or what?
no, I try to do all preventative. Sometimes they just pop up, but yeah, I do once a month preventative. The bio advanced like insecticide or whatever you want to call it. It's just a granular you throw out, gets rid of ants and
Oh, okay.
I think scorpions and stuff. And but yeah, it seems like it does okay, but sometimes you'll get the occasional mound popping up, and
Okay.
gotta
So
take
that's
care of
like, you like, it's like a 7 dust or something type of powder you're putting down. Cause I've used 7 dust on ants before, and it's like a contact killer. But then on top of that, you're already kind of doing a preventative application on the yard. Sounds like
Yeah, so
throughout the year.
I have that powder, which they take it down to the queen and it kills everything. And then I have another thing that's like crystals, and they also take that and take it down to the queen, and it kills the whole mound and wherever they take
Pretty
it.
effective.
So
Yeah.
cocaine and crystal. Got
Got
both.
Party, man.
Regular-
I'm gonna get you messed up.
regular Pablo Escobar over here.
I know. Every time I hear the quote, I forgot who said it. It's some dude on a podcast. It's like, my favorite kind of weed was cocaine.
Yeah, it's,
Oh yeah, I know that guy. I've heard it. I've seen his videos.
Man.
It's funny.
Yeah, that guy's crazy.
My favorite, my favorite type of weed is cocaine. Yeah, that's funny. All right, so that does a pretty good job knocking out fire ants. What the hell else is out there in your guys' yards, man?
I don't really have a whole lot of bugs. I mean, I've had white grubs in the past and stuff like that.
Theo Von.
A number of years ago.
By the way,
Was that?
it's Theo Von, that guy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he's
Yeah,
hilarious,
yeah.
man. Yeah, Theo Von, he's the best.
But anyway, sorry.
He's, you know what? I'm gonna jump on that for a second. He is a fantastic storyteller.
Yeah.
Like I watched one of his bits where he's sitting down doing the podcast and stuff, and he literally sat there and talked about nothing for like 10 minutes. Like there was no real takeaway. It wasn't an actual story that was hilarious. It was just
Kind of like us, some shows.
yeah, but dude, I was intrigued, and I was like glued to my phone. And then the kids were knocking on the bathroom door, like, "What are you doing in there?" I was like, "Oh, watch Theo Von." I lost track of time.
Yeah, no, I do the same. I get into his stuff every now and then. It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's like
He's
a
good,
whole.
though. But yeah, I've
It's like
had like. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's like it's like his voice, he tells it really good. It's kind of like Brian. If Brian told a story, I'd probably listen the whole way through.
Oh, yeah.
Voices.
Hey, Brian, you should do a second career. You should do like a side job and do those sleep tapes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Just
you know,
read
just
stories.
like soothing
Yeah.
bedtime stories with Brian or something, you know.
I'd listen to Brian before I go to bed. He'd put me to
Yeah.
sleep.
Dude, I think Brian would be a kick-ass. He'd be a kick-ass audiobook voice guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe like some
For
really
sure.
cool nonfiction, Malcolm Gladwell type stuff. I think he would do a good job.
Ryan's gonna read
Well-
like 50 Shades of Grey and have all the ladies turn into his
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like when we're in
Do
bed
it.
talking, when I talk to my wife, she just falls asleep. It's like- it works,
That's like your
I guess.
superpower.
usually it's the other way around. I'm always the one that's like mid conversation, I just fall asleep. She's like, do you remember me talking to you last night? I'm like, nope, not at all.
None of it.
But what were you
Right,
saying, Brent?
so-
You were talking about some bugs or something.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
so I was saying that in the past I've dealt with grubs before, like white grubs, probably about 4 years ago, and I caught it way too late because I was kind of like, yeah, actually it's probably longer than that. It was like 5-6 years ago, so I was kind of newer to lawn care. I wasn't really into it, but I just remember it was like a spot in my front yard, like right by that big oak tree, and man, I'll tell you what, like I was raking, you know, some twigs and stuff out of there, and my grass just started peeling back like a carpet. And I was like, what is this? That was probably when I started getting into lawn care, because I was like, what is this? So I started watching YouTube videos, and, you know, that's when I really started trying to take care of the yard. And that was kind of the impetus for it.
Sure.
But yeah, they ripped out a big old patch. Like it just rolled up like, you know, a piece of sod. And I was like, oh shoot, like here's these bugs, you know,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what they were, how to treat it, what to do. But that was like a big, probably like, I don't know, man. It must have been at least a 10 by 12 spot, like this big place that I had to redo.
So
But I
what
haven't
did you
really
end up
had
doing?
those problems now. Like I kind of, you know, I'll kind of like look for them. You know, periodically, if I see something stressed out, I'll go, you know, tug on it, give it a look. I'll find them every once in a while, like one or two.
That's what helps me when I'm stressed
Nuke
out. A
'em.
little tug.
That's definitely a good plan of action.
Yeah, when it starts to kind of dry out, when you get stressed out, you go out. But so you know, I've the other couple times that I've had them since then, I've caught them early, nuked them, and it hasn't been an issue. The thing that we have a big problem with, and I don't know about you guys, like nationwide, but those goddamn spotted lantern flies are freaking everywhere.
One of those. I gotta
What
look
are-
that up.
What
real
is
quick.
that? Pull a
I
picture
gotta
of
look that up.
Yeah.
Oh,
someone
dude,
pull
yeah.
it.
So they're an invasive species,
Oh,
and
it's like it popped up real quick.
they
Ooh.
like they lay all their little eggs like kind of at the base of the tree, and then the little babies, like the larva, I guess, I don't know, whatever, I forget all that stuff.
Gee,
They
never seen
climb
that.
up the tree, but they basically eat your trees away and like sap all the nutrients from your trees, and trees die from like these infestations of these freaking things. So
damn.
I mean, they look like I would think they were like some kind of a tiny moth, but I don't know if I've seen them or not. They look like vaguely familiar, but a lot of these moth type looking insects.
if
look
you
very
haven't
familiar.
seen them, like they're coming for you.
Are they super
weren't-
dense? Like they're dense, like you know, like when you see like Japanese beetles all like descend on a rose bush.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
not-
how these look, or are they more
No,
sparse?
not really quite like that, but they also blend in really well. They camouflage on the tree bark, so like you really don't see them. But I've been finding a lot of them recently, because they keep landing like in the pool or falling into the pool. And so like I'll clean out the pool filter, and you know I'll be like, there's like 10 of these little son of bitches in there, and I'm like, crap. It's like every other day I'm finding, you know, a whole bunch of them. But you know, like in my town and like where I live, they weren't so bad last year, but there were a lot of other places where it was bad. And then this year it's like way worse. I know, like, I think Pennsylvania, they were really bad last year, and some parts of New Jersey, but you know, they've made it up to the northern part of the state this year because they're bad. But apparently that's what they do, is they will actually kill, you know, very mature older trees, you know, within a matter of a couple of years, as I understand it. So they're pretty big deal.
Shitty little guys.
Yeah, man. But those are the big things this year, and they're not so much a problem for the grass, but they are, you know, concern for for trees and
or for the
like
yard
that,
as
but
a
I've been seeing a
whole.
lot of those and wasps. My wife's found a lot of wasps and stuff this year. So she was running around like, dual wielding, wasp spray cans the other day. Running around hitting all these little spots where she was seeing them.
Speaking of wasps, I feel like I told this story last year, but did I talk about when the yellow jackets got me last year?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
So I was mowing on my hill, just maybe like where I normally mow, and I keep it mowed, just like the very, very top of it. And I went past it and I felt something. It was just like, damn, like I felt like I got a bee sting or something. Didn't think anything of it. So then I turned around, I came back and I got lit up like five at once, like behind my kneecap, like down my legs, everything. And I just just let go of my mower and I just ran like down the hill because I didn't know what was going on, And
So at that point, you didn't realize that you didn't think yourself, I'm getting stung, and just you're feeling pain.
Yeah. So I turned around and looked, and I mean, there was hundreds of these things swarming the mower. Oof. And I'm just like, shit, I'm just going to sit here and let it run out of gas before I go up there, because it's just sitting there. So then I ended up going up like way up the hill behind it, and I just like push it, and it like goes down the hill, screaming down the hill, like towards my back patio. So I get it turned off and everything. And I basically get up there, and their yellow jackets dig a hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And the mower is literally sitting directly on top of it, just pissing them off. And they lit me up hard. I mean, I got like one on my ankle, like behind my kneecap and all that. Like it itched for like days. Yeah, it was like the worst spots. But so, and I didn't know what it was, because like on my hill, there's lots of holes where, there's shit digging in there all the time. And so I just didn't think anything of it. Man, if you get those, they freaking.
So what do you do now for the hill? Do you do anything to prevent more from coming, or do you think you kill this one and then you just?
So what I did for those was, so at night, I guess they all go in there and they just kind of like chill for the night. So I took some garden hose and I just like went up in there and then I just turned it on and just stuck it in there and like flooded them out. and then I let that run for literally like 5 minutes, just flood the shit out of them. And then I sprayed some like wasp spray around it. So, and they're gone. I've been keeping an eye on it this year to see if they're going to like reuse it or not. But when I was flushing it, the like hive, the comb or whatever, it came out.
Oh, good.
So, but yeah, I mean, that was wild. That was different. I've never seen that before.
Little bastards.
Yeah, they sting. Like, it's not like a normal bee sting. It's like, it's a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And many, many more.
Yeah. So, but like, I mean, I just always think like, what if that was my kids, and they were just like, playing and like going to get a ball or something, they would have got lit up hard. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah.
That's me versus them. But yeah, as far as like spraying anything though, like, I mean, for that specifically, I don't. I do kind of like what Cody, the Bio Advance, that does grubs and ants and all the different kind of moles and stuff, or not moles, but the little, just different
mole crickets.
Yeah, mole crickets. Did you ever seen one of those in real life?
Yeah.
Those things are crazy looking.
Those
are look them up.
I need to look at that.
Oh, they're crazy. They're huge too, and they got like big old like things. Oh, they're crazy. So like a couple years ago,
terrifying.
We did a slip and slide down my whole hill for my daughter's birthday, and we had we were doing I had a sprinkler at the top of it, and we had like Dawn dish soap, to get going real fast. And so like when the soap is just like, like when you go and pour soapy water and they come up, the army worms and stuff come up out of the soil, same concept. And there was one like on top, and I'd never seen one before. They're big too. And I was like, what in the hell is this? I'd never seen one before in my life.
Looks like a fucking like dinosaur insect.
Massive. It looks like something out of a crappy sci-fi movie. Like we're fighting the aliens.
Like a dense jungle, like, oh my God.
Yeah, I had to Google it because I had no idea what it was. And so, but yeah, I only saw that one. That was the only one I've ever seen. So
crazy.
Yeah, my wife saw one a few years ago and freaked out.
Yeah, they're definitely they're different looking. If you don't know what they look like, Google it. They're pretty crazy looking.
I saw one of those cicada killer bees or whatever they are last year. Those things were pretty darn big, man. It was just by itself, and I think they're harmless to us, but seeing that thing like fighting a dying cicada was like, oh my God, that's just creepy because it's so big. Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those too. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Thanks.
You guys ever insane?
You guys ever had it where the cicadas are like everywhere? Like every couple? Yeah, you did have it like last year, the year before, right?
Last year, yeah, it was like the year of the Brood X or something like that.
Yeah, they come around like it's like a cycle, right? Like every 10 years or 12 years,
maybe something like that. 10 years, maybe,
yeah.
But it actually didn't get too bad. Like I was reading all this stuff, like it's gonna like ruin all your trees, all your plants, your garden, and I didn't get it that bad. Where it, but like my parents who are like an hour south of me, they got it bad. But yeah, it's crazy, just an hour difference. But so what are you guys dealing with, like insects in your lawn that are messing up your lawn? Like what experiences have you had with insects messing up your turf? Like we know Olee's with the army worms, but before we get into that, is there anybody else have any horror stories with bugs messing up their turf?
The only thing I just had grubs last year.
Yeah, just that one time with grubs.
When did you get the damage? In the fall?
Yeah, late fall. And then I went and got the 24-hour and put it down. And then probably like a month later, I found some more. And then basically did it again. So then I never put down a preventative. So then this year, I'd put my preventative down in like May time. So hopefully we prevent them. So we'll see.
Now, does the dish soap thing work for grubs too, or just worms, just the army worms?
It works for a handful of insects. They don't like the soap burns their skin. So it works for a handful of stuff. Now I don't know about grubs specific, but
like if
you get a lot of rain, the grubs come up.
Yeah.
But I know as far as spiders and all kind of other stuff, if you do the soap bucket test, you'll get everything and come flushing out of there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I haven't had like issues with insects, like as far as I know, that damage the lawn yet, thankfully. But I have had, this is more of an annoyance when I'm out cutting the grass, is those like swarms of those like teeny tiny gnat miniature fly things. I don't know what those are, but you know when the sun hits them and you're like, shit, I'm going right at them. You just kind of as you're walking through, it pisses me off, man. And I don't know what to do about it. Do I need to run out and get like some kind of squirt bottle of something? Anyway, you guys know what those things are?
Yeah. I don't know what they are, like gnats or something, but I know exactly what you're talking about. When the sunlight hits them and you see like a little pocket of them, you're like a
haze.
I'm going right for them, but
it's so dense.
I'm not deviating from my course. I'm going through it.
That's hilarious.
Fucking God.
Oh yeah. Get them in your mouth. You're like,
yeah.
Those are nasty.
I don't know. If anybody in the chat has those,
gnats,
what do you do about them? What do you do about them? Can you do anything about them? And why the hell are they?
I don't even know.
Keep your dog's pecker away from
them. If
them.
they're not messing with your lawn, I say leave them alone. But yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah, Lawn Radiant said he's got to keep his mouth closed while he's mowing. Or he'll swallow a couple of those.
Nope. A little protein snack.
Brian, what about you? Bugs in Utah?
Not really. That was one thing I was gonna bring up, was the whole gnat thing, because that's all the time. Every time I mow, they're all flying around everywhere. But as far as I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't even had grubs, and I haven't put anything down. My lawn's only 2 years old, so but I don't really hear a lot of people talking about grubs. The biggest thing in our neighborhood is voles. So they're not really insects, but the voles will, because where our community is used to be a big field, So there's just a ton of voles there, and they go from one yard to the next yard. My neighbors right next to me have them, behind me have them. I think because I have a dog with Satan pee that's killed everything. They don't even want to come over to taste that stuff. So they stay over in the yard, neighbor's yard. But
the atomic urine.
Yeah,
you could have a worse vole problem if your lawn was like well irrigated and the soil was a little softer because they could go through it easier.
That's a good
Would
question.
that make a difference? Or maybe like easier to hunt for worms and whatnot, whatever they eat.
Well, the voles will just eat the grass roots. They'll just burrow right through, and I mean, you'll just start seeing dead patches of grass, and then they have their holes and stuff like that. Gophers too. Quite a few people in the neighborhood have gophers. So
those things ruin a lawn.
Yeah, and they do. People don't, and they're hard to get rid of. They have like the sound things you can buy. They don't usually work. People have their pest companies come out and try to trap them. Sometimes people put hoses down the holes to try to flush them out. So
speaking of that, have you seen that one video on the internet where that dude pours he pours like gasoline down the gopher hole.
Oh,
yeah, and he lights it and the entire yard just goes boom.
Yeah, just the whole yard lifts up like a foot and drops down.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
I had a couple in my property. I still do actually. My wife actually took a video of it today. I was gonna post it, but the thing just it was in the garden and she ran at it and she filmed herself doing it and she ran at it and it shot across the lawn. But she sent it to me today at work. She's like, look at this thing. It was in our garden. But I trapped a few when I first moved in here and then live trapped them and then just shot them and threw them in the field. But I mean, that's when you're not in the country though. But like in the country though with voles, I know we're talking about insects, but I've learned just not leaving a bunch of debris and crappy piles around and stuff like that where they can live and stuff. I try to keep everything clean. And I feel like they stay away from my lawn if I'm there, but I'm in the country, so it's hard to avoid them. But
yeah, so
I had a groundhog once, but I dispatched of him pretty quickly. It's kind of funny. It was actually, so it was right after my first son was born. We come home from the hospital and I see this monster groundhog in my backyard. It's got this big old hole they dug underneath my shed. And I was like, oh, you're done. So as soon as my wife was, hanging out with the baby and stuff. And so I went into from inside my house, I was like, all right, if I start cracking off 22 rounds in the neighborhood, that's probably going to be a problem. So I set up a little sniper hide inside my house. And I opened the window and I just sat up set up a chair, a little sniper hide. And I just sat there with the scope, behind the scope. And I just sat and waited for him for 30 minutes. And he finally poked his stupid head up. And then I changed my mind and did not hurt him.
I was just saying.
No, I'm kidding. No, I cracked that.
Died, Bin Laden died.
No,
22 wouldn't take some of these out. They're so thick and big. I don't think a 22 would take the ones out that I have. I think it might just hurt them.
I felt kind of bad because at first I was trying not to make any noise. So I had these 22 rounds that they don't have any gunpowder. It's just a primer, and they're subsonic. So it's super quiet. So I was like, oh, I'll use that. And I hit him once with that first, and then it just kind of stunned him. He was scared and he was looking around, and then I was like, well, that's not going to work. I guess I'm just going to have to go loud on this one. My wife's like, what was that? What did you just do? And I was like, don't worry, I had to take care of some pests.
I had to take care of
Intruder.
She comes in the room and she's like, she looks at me and she was like, she's like, I don't even know what to do with you. Because I'm sitting there and I got two chairs, right? I'm sitting on one chair and I got another chair to the back. And I'm perched up there. I'm waiting for him, But that's the only gopher or anything like that. It was just a big groundhog. Only one of those that I had though. But in
no
the future,
bugs. So, Olee, what you got going on with these traps I'm seeing?
Oh yeah, tell us about your Japanese beetles.
Whew. So, I put out my Cetterprin a while back, and what I wish I would have done, where I messed up, is whenever I put out my Cetterprin, I had a handful of things in the tank, and what I should have done is put a Cetterprin in first, and then hit all my bushes and everything around the house real heavy. But I didn't. So every year I learn something. So these are my double knockout roses, and that's them having a nasty time right there.
Yeah.
And from what I'm reading, what I'm looking and learning is each female will lay 40 to 60 eggs in its lifespan. So each one of those females, and that's a ton of grubs. And the Japanese beetles, they lay an egg, it turns into a larva. That larva becomes your white grub.
Yeah.
The one that you're worried about. So I've been catching these things by the half-gallon Ziploc bag full a day. And I bought these traps from a place, I think how you say it's called Gimpers. And I've been catching a half gallon. That's a gallon. I'm pretty sure that's considered a gallon Ziploc, and I've been catching half.
Looks like it, yeah.
What are you doing
Daily.
with them? What are you doing with them when they're in there?
I let them cook right there in the sun. And
Dry them out for some snacks or what?
I had some chickens. I would feed them to the chickens. I understand that they're really good to feed to chickens or whatever, but I don't have any chickens yet. But
Guineas.
Yet.
So I'm honestly just putting them back in my garden and letting them rot, letting them return back to the soil,
Nice.
But I just put them in there, squeeze the air out, let them sit in the sun for a little while, and then dispose of them.
How long do they have to sit there?
Not very long. Not very long,
That's-
because and the thing is there's no chemicals, there's no poison, there's no nothing. I mean, it's just a simple trap. Yeah, that was I think Sunday morning's harvest right there.
Nice.
And they like blueberries a lot. And what's crazy is we Googled to see what to put on the blueberries, and the first thing that comes up is a Cetterprin. So a Cetterprin's a really good thing to learn and to know about, far as army worms, grubs, turning into these beetles, all types of stuff. So if you don't know about a Cetterprin, do some Googling, do some reading.
So what are you going to do then to prevent grubs coming up like next year, now that so many of them have been in the area? Are you going to put anything down, or do you already put a grub preventer down in your flower beds and rose beds?
I don't have that in my flower beds and rose beds, but I will have the Cetterprin in those beds. And, it's out in the turf. And one thing that I have really noticed this year is normally about this time I have June bugs, which are the bigger ones.
Yeah,
out there buzzing. They sound like a small helicopter going back and forth.
Hell yes.
Yeah, dude, those things
Nice.
are
I normally have those, but this year I can walk outside and I can look across the street and it looks like, a war zone with all them flying, but there's not a one above my turf this year. And that's pretty wild. And I think if I would have got the Cetterprin all in the flower beds and around the house and let it get into the soil, that I wouldn't be fighting all these Japanese beetles. But the cool thing about the traps are, as many as I have caught and disposed of, that's a major drop in population. Like me and my wife were talking this evening, about most people go in the house and shut the door and they don't do anything, they don't do anything. I mean, that's crazy right there. I mean,
are they banging right there?
Wow. Huh?
Are they banging right there?
Yeah, man.
There's a lot going on there, buddy.
getting more than 60 eggs.
Those banging
Making
beetles,
some-
man.
Some baby grubs.
And see, the thing about it is, just like I'm gonna start doing more about mosquitoes, because I hate mosquitoes. I hate getting bit by mosquitoes. I don't know what it is about me, my blood type, or what, but mosquitoes love me. They eat me alive, and I hate mosquitoes. And I was reading this evening that a female mosquito, is the only one that bites you.
Mhm.
And the female mosquitoes can lay 100 and I think it said 150 eggs, I believe is what it said.
Damn.
So if you take out, a handful of mosquitoes, man, you really cut down on the population. And it just makes me think, like, if all my neighbors would do something about Japanese beetles and do something about mosquitoes, how much cleaner it would be outside and less problems you would have, if everybody was doing something about it. But, they're not going to, because they come home from work and they go inside and they don't worry about stuff like that.
So, Olee, have you had this kind of a problem every year, or is this just the first that you're seeing it this bad? This is every year.
Yeah, they tear double knock up roses. They tear them to pieces. Okay. Roses actually attract them to your property. Roses do. Oh. And this is on my blackberries. This is on blackberries. So that's a blackberry bush that they tearing up. But since I've put the traps out, they're in the trap. They're not on the plants.
So could you have prevented this because you said you sprayed it on the lawn and you had a couple other things in there and you should have done it separate on the bushes and flowers. Had you done that, do you think you wouldn't have had this issue so bad, or would you still have a problem?
I think it would have been a lot less, because what they do is they go, after they do all this mating, they go and they bury in the ground and they lay their eggs. And more than likely they've laid their eggs and all right in the flower beds and under the blueberry bushes and stuff like that.
So you said these produce grubs as well? White grubs?
These are the white grubs that you worry about.
I thought those were June bugs that did that.
No, sir. If you look and do some reading, it's all about the Japanese beetle, not the June bug.
So the Japanese beetle is the mother of the grub, but also mother of the June bug?
But no, there's two different beetles.
Yeah, June bugs are different.
Yeah,
I have June bugs around my yard.
Grubs. They both produce grubs. But the ones that you're worried about eating your turf roots are the Japanese beetles that produce their grubs.
Is it just because there's just so many of them or something?
I don't know that answer.
They're super invasive, and I guess maybe there's just no competition for them. Maybe so. That's why. Maybe
I don't know. I just know that the June bug makes a humongous grub, and it's for some reason I don't know if they chew on the roots like these do or not. But the Japanese is the grub worm be worried about. Man, that's just getting started. That's very little there.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, my mom had rose bushes, and there was probably 2 years that I remember in middle school where the Japanese beetles were atrocious, and we had those same type of traps, and it was incredible how many of them you'd catch.
How do they get attracted to it? What is the bait for them?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
How do those traps work?
These traps here have two attractants, and you can buy several Japanese beetle traps, and they only have one attractant, and it smells like a flower, or I guess a rose bush. And they work okay. But these traps here, they have one that smells like flowers, and then they have one, I guess, that smells like hormones for them to come do the nasty. And everybody's coming to the party,
So it works a little better. That's awesome.
It works amazing, because I have a couple of the other ones that have just a single deal, and they don't catch nowhere near the same.
Oh,
interesting.
Olee, you are the master baiter.
I got them baited.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
So I've seen the traps, the way they look on the top. Do they just fly close to that and their wings hit it or something? And they fall down in? How does
it's just because it's smooth, it's slick. So they come in and I guess think they're going to land on a leaf. And whenever they hit that plastic, they can't hang on.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they just slide down it in the bottom, and they chill out down in there because it's sort of dark. Whenever you take the lid off, you have to be quick or put your hand over it, because as soon as they see daylight, they're ready to escape.
Interesting.
That's funny.
Well, it's really crazy when you got a Ziploc bag full and they're all in there moving. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that on your story when you handed it to one of your girls. They were all moving around.
Does this sound like pouring milk in a bowl of Rice Krispies?
Oh man, it's like Pop Rocks, dude. It's dancing.
That's interesting.
It's really crazy to hold the bag, and they're all jumping and crawling. It's wild. But it's got to be really cut
accidentally
down.
opening a bag inside your house. Do you just imagine what a disaster?
They don't come in the house.
No, I'm saying like, what if somebody brought it into the house?
I'm saying they don't come in the house.
Okay, good. No, sir.
I said it once.
And they stink. They stink something terrible, especially after about an hour in the sun. They stink something terrible.
I had them real bad on some annual flowers last year, but I haven't seen many this year yet.
Well, see, I've got a little garden, and they're in the garden too. So one of my traps is nearby my garden at the shop, and the other two are over here. And I wish when I bought those, I was sort of skeptical because a lot of people said don't buy those traps because then they attract more to your property. And I'm thinking, well, they're here now because of the rose bushes, because of the blueberries, because of the garden. And if I can dispose of them, they're not going to populate. And I would hate to know how many that's in a half a gallon. I'd hate to know how many's in that Ziploc bag at a time.
Yeah.
And you do not every one of them's a female, but man, how many's in there times 40, that's possibly 60 eggs. That's a shitload of Japanese. That's a ton of grubs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of grubs. And that's better. And the thing about it is the way I look at it at the end of the day, I know they're dead. They're not going to reproduce. They're not going to lay eggs. If you go out and spray, your merit or whatever you spray for grubs, you may time it right. You may not. You may water it in deep enough. You may not. I know they're dead. I mean, so I'm happy with what I'm doing.
You're on a mission.
Yep.
You're on a crusade against the
I wish I'd have bought 10 of those traps now. And the sad part is with all the crap that's going on with plastic and all this other junk going on, you can't find these traps right now. I bought these traps maybe 2 years ago and never got them out. And then actually just run across the box. I don't know, 2 months ago, I was like, damn, I got these things. And I went and set them out and I was blown away the first day. I mean, the entire trap was full. And I was like, good God. So I got the other two traps out and took them home. And man, it's insane. So.
God, that's so many, man. Like, so I've never had rose bushes until we've moved into the new place and they have two out front. They're not big and it's just a pair of them. And I had a few Japanese beetles eating some of the leaves, but they seem to be gone now. And there's only a few leaves that they damaged. So I was thinking about going and cutting those out. But now I'm thinking, should I put down something for grub potentially going forward? But it sounds like the amount you have is just an incredible amount of them. Like the density of it is insane. Is it like that every year, or is this year by far the worst for you?
I mean, we've had a ton of them every year. I mean, they chew up the plants around the swimming pool, like the canna lilies and the roses, and they get on the blueberries and in the, everybody's garden. They're in there eating everybody's garden up, they eat up my cucumber leaves. They eat up the green bean leaves, stuff like that.
So is this your first year using that?
It's just my first year trapping. Oh,
okay.
In the past, we just shake shake 7 dust on everything.
Uh-huh.
But this insecticide now that you use, the acetoprin, you said? Acetoprin. Is this your first year using that, or have you used that before? Yes. Okay. So hopefully
first year.
Hopefully
never knew about it. Yeah. Never knew about it. I'd heard the name, but never used it, never heard about it. Never seen an armyworm until last August. Mm-hmm. And so that was an eye opener. That was a learning experience.
Yeah.
So, crazy.
All right, guys. Well, we're coming into that spot where we're going to do lawn of the week, but before that, I actually want to gather some names, not for the drawing next week. We'll do that in a minute, but I was going to give away a Simple Lawn Solutions product. We haven't done that for a while.
Yeah.
So, being that it's hot, I know Nate just put some down not too long ago. I think we'll do a hose end bottle of 0025.
Oh,
Simple Lawn Solutions. So
I actually just put it down last night.
Last night. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna do it. I think Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. I was gonna do it and had it all out and getting ready to do it, but I just didn't get around to it or something came up. I can't remember what happened, but yeah, so I ended up doing it last night.
All right. So yeah, we'll do that for help people
Yeah.
out during the drought and the dry season and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good product there. So for those in the chat, you guys still in there, just type in Simple Lawn Solutions and I'll gather your name for the drawing for the hose and sprayer of 0025. While we're talking about lawn of the week, who wants to do that?
Before Bill.
All right. This one was
doozy.
I think Brent came in with the tiebreaker. So we had two awesome contenders this week. I think we were all kind of like back and forth, but ultimately Brent was the decider. I am the decider. Anyway, so lawn of the week this week is Lawn Art. Coming in hot. He's got some really cool designs he's done in that yard.
damn.
It's pretty nutty.
Yeah, I wonder. So is his property? Is that all that grass his property? That's not.
I don't know, because it said some of the different pictures, it makes it look like he's mowed this, like the neighboring yards too, to somehow complement his design.
And they all look good. Like it doesn't look like
Yeah.
they both look good beside him.
Right.
But yeah, that's an awesome design.
Yeah, they were so unique. I thought to myself, like, no, I mean, this guy's, he's got to be doing multiple properties. But then I looked a little closer, like, no, that's just his yard. Holy crap, this guy's pretty creative with some of his designs. So super cool.
The one like a month ago when he did like the New Balance shoe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to message him, like, dude, is that real? Like, did you like, is this like digital or what? And he's like, no. So that's pretty cool.
You can kind of see like he has some previous designs in there. Like I see like a curve kind of like in the middle left. You can tell he's been mowing some stuff in there. So
Yeah,
that's awesome though.
Super cool.
I like his natural kind of the separation between him and his neighbors. The neighbors' yards look really nice too. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a domination line in this case, but just the separation of the different patterns. It's really cool to have that, like, a couple of really good looking yards next to each other doing different stuff. Makes for cool pictures for sure.
That's awesome.
Yep. Congrats.
Yeah, dude, my front yard was looking hurting going into the weekend. We haven't had any rain for weeks. I haven't been watering. It was looking hurt and crispy.
So you did the 0025 as well?
Yeah, I did that, and then I used that new sea kelp product.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about putting that down this weekend actually, because it's been getting hot and it's been pretty dry.
I stacked those two on Saturday, and then set up my little irrigation situation on Sunday. Been watering the crap out of it every morning, and then today I put down some humic DG from Anderson's, because my soil in the front especially is just total garbage. And I can see when it gets to be summertime, I can see all the places that I've added soil, like added really good quality topsoil, because obviously the grass is just so much healthier. So
sure,
I can see the difference of like, oh, that's a spot that I leveled out, or that's a spot that I renovated and put actual topsoil down. And if I had to do it again, which I might, not this year, but when I did my little like partial renovation last year in the backyard, I should have gotten a couple yards of really good quality topsoil and put that in, because that's like a high traffic area, high sun area, and that that area just gets beat up just with the kids playing back there. It's like the main play spot. You'll kick soccer balls and throw footballs, and it just, that main area kind of like right off the patio in front of my crappy shed is beat up every year. So it doesn't look too bad now, but I should have put some topsoil down, like real good topsoil.
Real quick, last week, our winner, Turf Tamer, lawn of the week, second win. Just for those of you who were not here, we had Turf Tamer on with me and Cody last week. But yeah, he talked about how he did this. It was pretty interesting. A lot of different aspects than I didn't even think about, like the projector and tracing everything out on his wall and everything. That's just wild. So sweet tribute.
Yeah,
I might have heard a sneak peek of what he's doing next year, and it's pretty badass. But I'm gonna keep that.
That's awesome.
Reps. All right, so I'm already done with the Simple Lawn Solutions giveaway, so we're gonna do that real quick, just so we can get that out of the way. Let me share my screen here. All right, so we had 23 entries. So those are the people that are still sticking around. I try to get in there quicker before everybody logs into their second accounts and stuff and start doing it. But all right, so this is for the Simple Lawn Solution. I'm gonna do shuffle 3 times, go full screen. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted on this song. We'll see. Here we go.
Yeah.
Good one.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Home Turf Consulting.
Hi, Nick.
All right.
Congratulations. Nick, if you will message the KOTG Instagram page and just give us your name information, and we'll get that over to Simple Lawn Solutions for you. So congrats.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now, the other one is Zach's been teasing it a little bit in the chat. So for those of you paying attention to that, we are going to open up another drawing here for a guest to be on our show next week.
Oh,
so for those of you that want to jump on camera and mic and talk to us about, give it, if you haven't been on before, give an introduction about yourself and tell us more about your lawn and stuff like that, and just join us and talk about whatever topic we picked next week. Type in KOTG in the chat.
Tug bug.
Tug it.
What?
Tug bug.
Tug bug. What'd you say, Zach?
I said tug it.
Tug it. All right. Which one do you want to do?
Fun.
Tug it, tug bug.
This show's supposed to be about bugs, and y'all talking about tugging, so tug bug is appropriate.
All right, we'll do the tug bug. So type in tug bug if you want to be a guest next week with us. And we'll grab your name and do another drawing here in a second.
Yeah, y'all were talking about fire ants earlier.
Yeah, I just got your text. I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah, and I dealt with fire ants for a while. Like I had major fire ant heels to the point where, the fire ants would build up. You're mowing the fescue somewhere 3.5, 4.5 inches tall, and they would build up a big old dirt mound, and it would actually turn the turf yellow. And I used to keep tennis balls on my mower, and as I seen an ant hill, I would throw a tennis ball off and come back and hit it with bifing and trying to kill, all these fire ants. Sure. I don't mean little black ants. I mean fire ants, the big red fire ants. That if you don't stop them, they'll build a mound, the size of a basketball. And when I started spraying the molasses fairly regular, They disappeared. Never knew that was one of its, I guess, benefits or whatever you want to call it. I was mainly spraying it because I like the color pop, and I could see a drastic color change within, hours. But it's just awful funny, even spraying it, that they don't like it. And there's a lot of insects that do not like sugar. Most people think it's going to cause you ant problems, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I was
and it
wondering,
doesn't it doesn't attract deer neither.
I'd be curious to know, if there's any thoughts about how, what is it specifically that causes them to go away or not want to be there.
Read that.
Hey, that's a lot. 10 to 20 pounds per thousand.
Well, that's dry. I've never used dry. Couldn't tell you nothing about it. I used the liquid.
I was like, holy crap.
I don't know. That's just something that I just felt right quick. But there's a lot of studies and old school stuff on that.
Interesting. Yeah.
I've always wanted to try molasses, man. I need to give me some.
I know, isn't there that that diatomaceous earth stuff that's kind of like, in a similar sense, that's something where it dries them out, sucks all the water out of them, and then they just get dehydrated and die. In this case, their hard shell, they just bloat and die explode from the inside out. It's awesome.
It's pretty gruesome, huh?
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, I was never targeting those. I was sick and tired of hitting them and
just like
a
beneficial side effect or a beneficial. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I might have to do me some molasses, brothers. I like it. Do it.
All right,
right down to the local
check out the Prez.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Justin.
Wow.
Justin.
That's awesome, man.
Cool, man.
Trying to find a good picture to pull up of it. Yeah,
So
thanks,
many,
man.
yeah.
There you go. There
Man,
is,
he don't look like that no more. He don't have a
Dang.
beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that outfit though. Whew.
that's his casual wear.
Just need some nipple rings and a chain across.
It's just
And
him
that
around
money
the
will
house.
give me some more KY jelly, baby.
Oh man.
Oh man. We need that on the shirt.
We are small children.
He needs to dress like that for Halloween.
There you go.
Yeah,
I love
right.
The president right there.
You gotta get rid of that beard though. Oh man.
All right, so we tugging it, Brian.
All right, yeah, let's we got this other drawing up. All right, so we had 8 guys
Sweet.
Damn.
put their hat in.
Only 8 guys with some balls that want to be on the show, huh?
Yeah.
Half of them been on before.
I know. Pretty much.
That's true.
Yeah, pretty much more than half of them. But hey, we don't mind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
not
awesome.
Open it up for anybody. So,
So if it's
all right, quick
if it's a
shuffle
previous
here.
winner, if it's a previous winner, we gonna do double again. We talked about that before.
Yeah, fuck it. With what we've been.
Who knows what we got next week?
Yeah, let's do it, man. That'd be fun.
I don't have a T-ball game on Tuesday. I know that. So unless they make it up, so we'll see.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Man.
Never been on.
Oh yeah.
Far out, bro.
Awesome.
Aloha bread.
Hell yeah.
Lawn sauce. All right. That'll be fun.
Talking about some nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He's normally at work. He's like finishing up work. Hopefully he get off work because it's like
drives home and stuff.
5 o'clock there or something.
Hopefully he's still on. Yep, there he is. He's on still. Good. All right, you gotta let your work know tomorrow that you're gonna have to get off early next week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Send me pictures of your lawn or whatever you want, your nuts. Just send me some pictures. We'll talk about it.
He and I were chatting, and he did an epic transformation, kind of like a time crunch. I think he said it was for his kid's first birthday. I guess it's like a real important birthday out there. So it'd be cool to have him talk about kind of the oh, you're pregnant, hooray. And then it gets to be like, okay, now we got to get this yard looking sexy for the birthday celebration. So that'd be cool to hear what all he did.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally different climate than all of us. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he deals
So
with
when he's on, will the show be also about his transformation? I can't even say that.
Transformation?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll give us a rundown of that because he kind of did some pictures and stuff. And I believe he's the only one that I can think of right now is Georgia grass. So it'll be interesting to know. Yeah, he did all the
Everybody come
stuff
prepared
on
for
there.
your
So
questions for Brad.
Yep.
He could do it from his backyard even, because it'll still be light out for him. Maybe just a thought. No pressure.
Well, it was two weeks ago on the after show. He came home and mowed for us. We were sitting there watching him mow his grass with his real mower. So yeah, good times, man. Good times.
Damn it.
True story.
That's awesome.
But awesome. Yeah, no, we look forward to that. So be ready, Brad. We'll get in contact with you, all the information to log in and stuff. But yeah, no, this was fun, guys. I think insects were fun to talk about, but I think more than anything, it was just awesome to see all of us together at once. So appreciate everybody jumping on and being here, and thanks to the live chat. We had a good group of people in there talking about all sorts of things, all different kind of bugs, some I've never heard of. So that's what this is all about. Learn new things and have fun while doing it. So with that, does anybody else have anything to add? Should we wrap it up?
I think that's pretty much it.
All right.
I like it.
Yeah,
Call it a night, guys.
All right. Bill's got to get to bed. So appreciate all you guys. Thanks for coming and supporting us. And we'll see you next week.
That's it.